Howdy folks, it's Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, making another video for you out of Boise, Idaho, and it looks like we are basically finished with the Mercedes. Unfortunately, there's still a couple gremlins, and you know, sometimes this type of stuff can get prolonged and stressful and expensive, but bottom line is I don't ever like to return anything back to somebody that is not fully 100%, if not better, than when it came to me. So real quick, let's go down the line of what has been done. The rear brakes have been done 100%, brand new rotors, brand new pads, all that other good stuff, as you can see in there. Front brakes have been replaced, and as far as the rear and the front brakes go, it was definitely time for those to be replaced. I'm trying to see, I did throw the pads away already. They're in there somewhere. There's a ton of parts in here. There's the old rotors and stuff. So anyway, so yeah, rear brake pads were actually extremely wore down. And we're talking less than 20%. So fronts were wore down to about 30-40%. So new brakes and rotors. And then of course we also went ahead and replaced the control arms. As you can see, new control arms along with new control arm bushings, ball joints, new outer tie rod ends. So we did that, both sides. Okay, so basically front suspension, brakes all around, and then we had issues with glow plugs, and yes, I do have a new cap for that. I just need to put that on. We had issues with glow plugs and whatnot, glow plug codes. Got into it, realized that somebody else had already been into it. The back glow plug on the passenger side was seized in the engine. It did break upon trying to remove it. Now, broken glow plugs are a common thing on these Mercedes 3.0s. They're also kind of a common thing across the board on some of the new diesels, and it's just because they're a poor design and they're very thin, and you get the smallest amount of carbon on them, and they just like to get stuck and break off, and it's no fun. Most shops that I know of do not drill out glow plugs. I don't know if it's just a lack of having somebody that actually has that ability, knows how to do it. Drilling out nuts and bolts is something I've learned over the course of time from other masters and mentors that have shown me 20 different ways to drill out things like spark plugs and glow plugs and nuts and bolts and all that other stuff. So there are special kits available to help you drill out those glow plugs, and that's what I use. So I was successful in drilling out that rear glow plug. However, I did take my time doing it. That's not something I rushed at all, because if you don't drill that sucker out right and then rethread it and put the proper helicoil in there, that glow plug will end up blowing out of there, and you'll just have to remove the cylinder head anyways. But yeah, most shops just go ahead and pull the engine and remove the cylinder head, and it's a major deal. So I was able to save that. So glow plugs, glow plug connectors. We also installed new tensioners. Let me see if I can get some light for you down there. Let's see. So as you can see down there, we've got a new tensioner down there, and we've got a new tensioner down there. Now that's because when it came in, it had the slightest little bit of a squeak, and you could barely hear the squeak. But we changed out the tensioners because that's obviously, you know, what we identified. And the way we find which pulleys are squeaking and squealing is pretty straightforward and simple. I just take some brake clean, and as it's squeaking and squealing, I spray it on the pulley. And if it stops squeaking and squealing at that moment, then that's your pulley that needs to be changed. So that's how we identified that. So glow plugs, new glow plug connectors, drilled out a glow plug, suspension, tensioners, control arms, brakes, you name it. All that's been done. I've taken it for about a 5-6 mile test drive last night, and everything seemed to check out okay. I did have an issue. I believe I still have a minor issue with the turbocharger resonator, and it's actually something that's common on these. Again, Mercedes 3.0. From what I understand, from about 2009 to about 2011, and that's turbocharger resonator pipe separation. So I am kind of having an issue here. I need to double check just for a leak right there, and so that's what I'm gonna do this morning, because I'm not happy with it. Also, I think it may be time. This screw that holds all this together does not want to tighten down like it used to, and there's nothing special about it. First of all, it's a screw. It's not a nut or a bolt. It's a screw, and it screws into this plastic housing, which is the resonator. And again, it's just a thing where this stuff, it gets old and it doesn't tighten down, and it allows this to kind of move around, and that causes resonator separation. So I'm gonna double check all that and make sure I don't have a gremlin in there. But something that did happen this morning on my final test drive was the pulley started squeaking again. I mean this time squeaking loud, and you can hear it consistently. So it's kind of a situation where, if you understand engineering, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So I highly suspect that now that we've changed the tensioners, the idlers are going to be squeaking, and I believe it's going to be this idler right here. So I'm actually going to show you how I'm going to figure that out. But bottom line is, my biggest concern was that glow plug issue, and drilling that out and making sure we do it and making sure it runs right afterwards. And so I'm very pleased and happy with that. All of this is just, these are all just kind of gremlins that you have to deal with buying a used vehicle. So all right, here we go. She's gonna start right up. And so here, you hear it? I can hear it now. So that was not present. That loud of a squeal was not present when it first came in, and the report that it got when it was bought did not report that loud of a squeal. So that developed on my test drive this morning. So we're gonna take a brake clean. We're gonna find that pulley down there, and we're gonna squirt it. It's hard to get right in there. But if you notice, the first time it quit squealing. Yeah, see? Okay, so unfortunately, there's still another gremlin in here, and that's the idler pulley. So it stinks, it's no fun, but we're almost there, guys. Almost there. So I'm gonna talk to the owner about that and see what they want to do. Go see if I can find one. So the downside to this year model, I have found out, is this is the year that they're beginning to discontinue everything for it. So nobody has anything for it in stock. Like O'Reilly's or AutoZone or Napa, and some of the most simplest things I've had to go to the dealer for already. So it's been something else. So, but no worries. We'll keep our head in the trenches and we'll just keep on moving forward. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for supporting me. Thanks for supporting the shop. I really appreciate you. This is Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, signing off.